Hey bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today we are continuing our holiday 2020 making with a really lovely Ice Palace Body Glow Lotion. The glow part of this lotion comes from the inclusion of a small amount of a silvery white mica. It doesn't leave your skin shimmery or glittery at all, it just catches the light a little bit more to give it a bit of an extra glow. This lotion uses the same emulsifier that I used in the Cocoa Coconut Emulsified Body Butter. That's Glyceryl Stearate and PEG 100 Stearate. Just like with the Cocoa Coconut Emulsified Body Butter, you really do need this exact emulsifier to make this formulation. If you'd like to learn more about it, please make sure you are checking out the encyclopedia entry on it at humblebeeandme.com. This emulsifier is sold under a wide variety of different names, so it's definitely worth a read because you might even already have it. I chose this emulsifier in particular because it allows me to create a product that's really quite rich, something you might sort of think of as being more of a cream, but with the viscosity of a lotion. You can see that it squeezes out of the tube really quite nicely, but it's really gorgeous and rich, but lighter than you would expect for a product that has a 25.5% oil phase. It's really lovely, and the emulsifier is absolutely key to getting that effect. When it comes to scenting this lotion, I've given you two different options. The version I make here in the video is scented with a peppermint hydrosol, and the version I make on the blog is scented with a fragrance oil. If you've ever made a lotion before, you'll certainly have no troubles whipping this up. As always, for more information, please make sure you are reading the partner blog post, which is linked in the description box below. There you'll find links to places to buy all the ingredients, including a discount code for the emulsifier. You'll find information on substitutions, scaling, shelf life, tons more information. So come on, let's go make this lovely Ice Palace Body Glow Lotion. We'll begin by combining the ingredients for a heated water phase in a small heat-resistant glass measuring cup. In this measuring cup, I already have 42.6 grams of distilled water. To that, I'm going to add 5 grams vegetable glycerin, 2 grams panthenol or vitamin B5, and 20 grams peppermint hydrosol. And I do a slightly different variation on this formulation on the blog, so make sure you check that out. That one uses a fragrance instead of a hydrosol. Up next is our heated oil phase. So you're going to need 2.5 grams of glyceryl stearate and PEG 100 stearate. This is really important that it is this emulsifier and that it is the entire name, not just glyceryl stearate or glyceryl stearate SE. To learn more, please make sure you're reading the partner blog post. You need 3 grams cetyl alcohol, 20 grams apricot kernel oil, and for substitutions, please read the blog post linked in the description box below. 0.4 grams Sepimax ZEN, and again, substitutions are in the blog post below, and 3 grams of a silver white mica. Before we heat the water phase, we are going to weigh it and then note that weight, making sure to note that it also includes the spatula. To melt everything through, I'm going to use a water bath. So this is a wide flat bottom saute pan that has about 1 inch or 3 centimeters of water in the bottom of it. I'm going to pop both of our heated phases in here and then go pop this on the stovetop over medium heat for about half an hour to melt everything through in our oil phase, though remember that the mica and the Sepimax ZEN will not melt, but the cetyl alcohol and the emulsifier will, and then it'll bring our water phase up to the same temperature. All right, once everything has heated through, you can remove your water bath from the heat and then remove the measuring cups from the water bath. Before we combine the phases, we're going to top off any water lost to evaporation. So I'm just going to dry off the outside of the water phase measuring cup and then pop that on the scale, and then use a bit of preheated distilled water to bring that back up to where it was with that number we wrote down earlier. And then I'm going to pour the water phase into the oil phase. Give that a bit of a stir, and then we're going to grab our immersion blender here, pop that in there, and blend away. So as the Sepimax ZEN blends into the water and kind of kicks in, you'll start to notice an immediate boost in viscosity. So just kind of scraping this down just to show you, you definitely don't actually need to do this, but there you can see that it's a lot more viscous than a lotion that doesn't contain Sepimax ZEN would be at this point in time. Okay, so that was about 3 minutes of blending. You can see that this is still pretty thin, hasn't really gotten any thicker than it was a couple minutes ago, which to be expected. So I am going to leave this to cool for about 5 minutes and then come back and we'll blend it some more. All right, this product is cooling down nicely, getting a little bit thicker. So let's give it a bit more blending. All right, so that was about another 90 seconds of blending. And I think that is enough blending here. So this still does need to cool down a bit before we can incorporate our cool down phase. So I'm gonna set this aside while we weigh out our cool down phase ingredients. Our cool down phase is pretty simple. We've got our preservative, and we need 1/2 gram of liquid Germall Plus. And then we also need 1 gram of a liquid calendula extract or a different botanical extract that your skin loves. If you're making the version from the blog that uses a fragrance oil, you would add it to the cool down phase now as well. Once the lotion is cooled down to the point where when you touch the outside of the measuring cup, it's cooled to the touch, we can incorporate our cool down phase. So to do that, I'm going to put sort of a dollopy blob, a few tablespoons of lotion in here, and we're gonna whisk until smooth. And then once that is smooth, we'll transfer it back to the parent batch and stir to combine. To package this lotion, I'm going to use a soft squeeze tube. So for this one, I do recommend using some sort of a squeeze tube or a tottle. It gets a little too thick to really fare well in a pump top bottle. Some sort of a squeeze bottle could also work, or in a pinch, you could put this in a jar. I just sort of feel like it's in a bit of the sweet spot where it's sort of too thick for a pump top bottle, but a little thinner than you'd usually like for a wide mouth jar. So yeah, squeeze tube or tottle is, I think, a good way to go. So this one is from Humblebee and it was a gift, and we're going to fill it using a syringe here. So I'm just gonna prop it upright in this beaker and then kind of stick some little containers in here just to hold it upright. So you kind of want to hold both parts at the same time. This gets a little bit tricky. Kind of get that plunger part in there. And then I like to squeeze as much air out of the tube as possible before plunging it down. And when you are about ready to disconnect, it's a good idea to do it over top of your container so that you don't lose too much product. All right. So for a bit of an application demo, I think we can just use this bit that's sort of spluted all over the countertop. So as I apply it to the skin, you'll see that it does go on really white, but that also goes away really, really quickly. And I really don't notice like soaping with this, which is really nice. So it massages into the skin really nicely and does just leave like a little hint of sort of some glow on the skin. So it's not shimmery or sparkly at all, just catches the light, you know, a little bit more than the skin did before. So to finish up, I'm going to put a bit of washi tape on the tube and label it. And there you go. So we just made a really beautiful Ice Palace Body Glow Lotion. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and please make sure you're reading the full partner blog post linked in the description box below. You'll find a lot more information down there, including information about substitutions, scaling, shelf life, where to buy ingredients, a discount code for the emulsifier, and a whole lot more. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.